Okay, this video is going to show you how to trace code on the handout that says trace code practice problem with return statements. And so we're going to demonstrate how to trace this code. And so here we are. We're showing all the code. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to highlight all the method headers because that's important. And so we're going to do public static void. This is really what we're looking, those public lines. And so here we have public static void, bear. Bear is the name of that variable, of that method header. Then this is the main method header. Here's another public static. And the name of this method is Gator. Then we have another public static. The name of that method is Lion. Alright, remember those are names of variables, or I'm sorry, of methods, and so these methods are like people that are going to perform at a talent show, just waiting to be called up to do their performance, and they're going to be called up by their names. And so as we go here, we go to the main method is the one that automatically starts the program. So it's always the first method that is executed, and it executes automatically. And so we go down to the next line, which is line 14 here, and we see that X is being declared and is assigning or storing a 5. Y is declared as a double and is storing 3.0. Come to line 17, and this is a method call because it's got some kind of an identifier, and then parentheses, that's a clue that you've got a method. And so the name of this method is Gator, and so we're looking for the method whose name is Gator. Well, this is bear and this is Gator, so here we are. So we are going to go from 17 down to 28. So in line 28, here's the method header. Now there's nothing to do in here, and so we're going to go to the next line down. And so that is to print apple. And so the next thing what is this doing? Let's get this rid of. So in here, no color please. Okay, finally got that to work. So the first thing that happens is this, that apple is printed, and so here we have it up here. Next line down is the declaration of a variable called X. Now this X is a different variable than this X. First of all, because they have different data types, but also because they're declared in different methods. So they're totally different memory locations. And so X here is going to store the string or the concatenation here of 4 cats is what it's going to be storing. Now here's the end of the method, and so we return to method call. When you're done with the method, you return to method call. And so we go back over here to the method call. The method call that called Gator. And so there's nothing to do here, so we go down and print rice. So we go in here and we print rice. And then the next thing we're going to do is go down to this line, and in this line is another name or identifier with parentheses, so this is a method call. So we're looking for the method called bear, and that's up here. So we are going to go up here to bear. And so this method call implements or executes this method. And so here's the important thing though. It's got an argument in it, and the argument is a variable call. And X up here has the value of 5 in it. And so this is, inside here we have a 5. The 5 is being passed to this parameter variable that's been declared in the bear method. And so T is a 5. And so now we come to the next line down, and we're going to have a memory location called num, and it's going to store, this is a variable call, so it's calling the parameter variable t, and so which is 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10, so num has a value of 10. And then the print statement here is just going to print box 10 with no space in it. And so we're going to go here and hit box 10. Alright, now we go to, this is the end of the method, so we return to method call. Well, where is that method that called us? Where's that method call at? And that's here. This is the one that called bear. There's nothing to do here. And so now we go down to line 20 and we're going to print car. And then we go down to the next line. And this is one of those where you have an identifier and parentheses, so you have a method call. The difference is this method call is being assigned to some variable. So because of that, we know that there's going to be a return value that will be stored in this variable. And so, but we have to execute the method call first before it can return anything. And so lion is called, and so lion is down here, and so this method call then will take us all the way down to the method header lion. Now you got to be careful because now this has two arguments in it, and so y this is a variable call. It's calling y. Y has 3.0 in it, and so we're going to pass 3.0 and 3. So these two arguments are going to be passed down to m. It goes in order, and n. So now these two parameter variables that are declared in here now have the values 3.0 and 3. And so now these values can be called in this method, where before they couldn't. They couldn't call the 3.0 and the 3 up here because these are declared in different methods, in a different method. What happens is then m is called, so it's 3.0 as we go down to this next line, and n is called as 3. And so in here it multiplies these two, and a double times an n is a double, so it's a 9.0. The next line is a return statement, and so this of course is a variable call here, and the amount stored in amount is 9.0. And so this is the second way that data gets transferred to another variable, to another method, is by a return statement. And so it's just at the end of a method you return a method call. Well, in this case we're going to return a value. So this value gets back to the method call right in here. So this is 9.0. Well, this 9.0 is going to be stored in the variable b. Alright, so b is 9.0. And so it's kind of hard to keep track of everything here, but we're going to just say 9.0 is b. And it's hard, very difficult to write this with this. Okay, now the next line down is the same situation. Well, actually it's not the same situation. This is just a variable c that is been declared, and it's going to be assigned the value of b plus x. Well, b, these are two variable calls. B is 9.0 and x is 5. And so 9.0 plus 5 is 14.0. And again, I can't write very well with this, so this really is not good. We'll try this again. Okay, so this is 14. 9.0. And so C is 14.0. And then we go to the next line, and we're going to print B trucks. Well, B, as we see up here, is 9.0. So it's going to be 9.0 trucks. The next line down is lion, or print, and then we have a, now what we're going to do is we're going to delete everything here. And so we have here is we have, oh, well, I deleted all my check marks. So we have gone main, and we've gone through all these lines here, and so we are right here. Now in this print statement we have something that looks like a variable call, and it is, and so it's going to call lion. Now lion's already been called, but that's okay. This is going to be called now again, and so this is going to go, this is method header. Now in this, the M is redeclared, and so we have another memory location that starts all over as an M, and then we have this another one called N, and so they're going to pass C and X. So C back here I believe was 14.0, and N or X we said was 5. So that's going to be right here. So these two parameter variables now have these amounts in them. M is called again, and that's 14.0. So you can see this is a different number than what it was used last time. And N is 5. And then we're multiplying those two together, and you have a 70.0. And of course we're going to return the value of amount, which is 70.0, to the lion method call, which is the one that called it this time is right here. So this says 70.0 is going to replace that method call. Yes, the return value. So this is now wiped out and put a 70.0 in its place. So we have 70.0 trains. Alright, and then we go back. We're done with that line. Now we go to line 25, and now it says print C jars. Well, C, I hope I'm doing this right, it should be 14.0, because I kind of lost my amounts in there. It should be 14.0. And that's going to say jars. Alright, and so now we are done with the main method, and when the main method's done, then your program is done. And so that is how you go through this program using method calls and method headers and return statements as landmarks to navigate through the code. And that'll do it.